Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Will.
I will. Okay, let's see.
I stand. Everybody.
Good morning, all.
Hi, morning, Stan.
Morning, Stan.
You know, I was looking at a reading teacher for an infant, and it occurred to me, Kindle has a reading mode where it just shows one word at a time in the center of the screen. If you had an app that did that, that just showed one word and then showed maybe a picture of what the item is, the word, and then a pronunciation of the word, I would think that an infant would learn to read and speak a whole lot faster. And when you think about it, a baby has no idea, you know, what the heck a word, what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it identifies as. But it would seem to me that that would be an excellent teaching app for an infant. But then I thought about it longer, and it'd be a great teaching for teaching someone a foreign language too. Saturday morning musings.
I think we used to use flashcards.
Yeah.
Like a picture and the word on the back of it.
Right, yeah. But it would be great to have an app similar to that, you know, it does that. Maybe there is one already out there.
Sometimes I can see a transcription of what's going on my phone. So far, I consider it a nuisance, but I can see that there may be some value in it.
It's like subtitles, you mean?
Yes, yeah, there's this transcription of whatever's going on.
Yeah. You know, when you think about what's involved, and you know, I have an A girl here, Alexa, and you know, when I ask a question, literally within a second the answer comes back. But when you think about what has to happen in order for that to occur, it's amazing. You know, it has to number one, understand what you're saying. Number two, parse it out. Yeah, she heard. Yeah, she heard her name just a moment ago. Anyway, and then go out to a database, somehow figure out what it is you ask, bring back the data, convert it over to speech and have her say it. That is just astounds me that can happen. But when you consider that the computer is running at least 3 billion times per second, I guess that's not a problem.
Beats the old dial-up days, huh, Will?
I'll say. Yeah. There's Mr. Mack. We finally see his shining face. Hi, Paul. We don't hear you, but we do see you. Normally, he just has his name up there.
Hi, Miriam.
Hello. I get to take my arm out of my brace while I'm at home. If I go out where I might fall or do something or be bumped or something, I got to wear it. But at home, I get to take it off.
No,
So that's
progress.
And my car finally got totaled and I got a lot of money.
Good. I had a friend who fractured a finger. It didn't break off, it just sort of cracked. And they did something, put her into a cast and an arm. She ended up with a completely unusable arm. It doesn't respond to anything. And I've forgotten the complicated name it had for the problem, but it was some nerve problem that completely disabled her right arm.
Permanently?
Permanently, yeah.
Oh, wow.
She obviously she has a suit going against Scripps.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. So I have a ticket to come back to San Diego. on October 11.
Good.
No, October 12th. Oh, it's the
Mhm.
12th, a Wednesday.
Morning, Marty.
Marty, you're muted.
Hello.
Pat, we missed you last week.
Oh,
morning.
yes, I was gone the whole time. It's my son's birthday, so we had a surprise birthday party for him.
Oh, Stan, we missed you at bingo this last week. Were you off doing something?
I got tied up in some technical support issues, primarily with Quicken and Ally Invest and trying to get that going. So I was going hot and heavy with technical support and actually got some good advice. When they can view my screen,
Mhm.
magical things happen. But if they can't view my screen,
You're never going to
it's
explain.
impossible.
Yeah, you're never going to explain to them the thing that they need to see.
Yeah. So anyway, I was pleased with that. It took time, but I got it done.
Is that a new picture in your background there, Stan? That looks very pretty.
So off Point Loma, one of my pictures. I could put up the SCG, but I think we should know that by now, so.
Yeah, but Stan, this is the seniors computer group. Every week we need a refresher.
Good point, good point.
Well,
Everybody found their way here, so I think it's okay, David.
Well, yeah, everyone that's not here, please raise your hand.
Yeah, we don't know things are okay until they find their way home too.
Finally.
Who's going to the San Diego Festival of Books today?
Was
Didn't
that
know
today?
about it.
Yeah.
So what do they have on offer?
It's University of San Diego this year, so it was at Liberty Station. Well, they have, I think, 100 authors. I don't know how many authors, but I'm going to see Adam Schiff.
Oh, okay.
He wrote a book, Midnight in Washington.
I'm going to wait for another few minutes before starting the,
Yeah, I'm still trying to get on the computer here. The Mac updated itself last night, and I've been working on trying to get the stupid thing to work since about 9:45. And it's now verifying the passcode, so I'm up to that point. So hopefully soon.
So you're joining by your phone right now?
Yeah, I'm on the phone now, so it's a little condensed, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you look fine to us, but I think we're probably pretty small on your screen.
Well, I've got the speaker view, so you're, I guess I could hold it the other way and get the landscape view, but it's okay. It'll work. It's just that I can't see everybody, you just see one person at a time. But
I think you can get up to 4 in gallery view on a smartphone.
oh, really? Okay, I haven't played with
And I
that.
think landscape is better.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
On a tablet, usually you can get about 6, but your limited screen means that either the pictures are really small or you only get a few of them.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's really funny because I spent a couple hours, everything takes a couple hours. I spent a couple hours in getting the internet 75 up to, with AT&T, up to about 75 instead of its usual 25 or so at the most. So I got that done. That took 2 hours, an hour on hold and an hour for them, but they actually got it fixed. But it's still slower in molasses in January. It's really kind of bad. Now, here we are. I can join. Now it says I can join with video. It's totally black. And I got the rolling ball, of course. And it's connecting again. So I'll hopefully see you soon.
We see your other join video tile on our end.
Oh, right. And you know what happened? Was that was how I could tell the
啊，佢
difference.
佢開人多啊，
Okay. I got that. Got that.
Yeah, you can't have two mics in the same room, Pat.
Yeah, yeah. Well, usually you can, but you have to turn it down. I always have.
Or
I always have
headphones help.
We're hearing the feedback between them.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, okay. Let me get. I'll put that back out here.
If you turn one off and put the other one on headphones, then they don't crosstalk.
Well, you know, I've always had this. It's the first time that it's ever done it. But what's confusing is that I used to have my name on the phone, you know, Pat blah blah blah. And but now my picture's showing up. And so my picture's showing up on both, which I don't really like. But... All right, here we go. Ooh. Oh, that's weird. I seem to have lost. I didn't discontinue it. What the heck happened to that? Oops.
Your second one looks to be pointing off to some sort of a,
That's her phone. It's okay.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the phone. Okay, see, when it does that, I have no idea what it's doing. Okay, no, let me go back and get that thing. It's on the wrong thing, but that's okay.
She disappeared into the aurora.
But then she reappeared in the other picture.
Yeah. Gone through the wormhole or something.
Okay, see.
Now it's back.
See, that one used to be where I had just my initial, where instead of the, you know, the picture popping up, I had just the name, but I haven't figured out how to get my name back on there and not have the picture. I updated it one time and now I'm stuck with that for some reason. Anybody know anything about that?
It's what you have in your Zoom account if you're logged into it. Of course, you don't have to be logged into Zoom to join this meeting. And so you can just use the Zoom app on it.
Yeah, because I think that's probably the difference. The phone probably was not logged into the Zoom account and it just got the name. Now it looks like the phone is logged into the Zoom account, so it gets the picture associated with your Zoom account.
Well, actually, when I do the Zoom on the phone, that is just the regular, you know, I assumed I was signed into that because that's on my phone. So usually if something's on your phone, aren't you just automatically signed into that?
Maybe once you've signed in once, it'll stay signed in, but if you just click the link and you weren't signed in, it would get you just participated as a non-member. However, have we used up enough time?
I think I am going to take over this conversation because we have a pretty long presentation to see today, and I need to get on with it. I'm going to mute everybody now, and I'm going to point out that this is a presentation on Facebook, and it's a presentation that I did on Facebook. Let's see if I can find. No, I guess I can't. I was going to find the date. At any rate, it was quite a while ago. And so it'll be somewhat out of date, but the general principles and how you wander around in Facebook is not out of date, because that, well, it's no more out of date than it would be if I'd done it last week, because Facebook has this habit of changing things once a week. So I'm now going to share my screen. We're up to 18 participants. About 3 or 4 who have joined just in the last 5 minutes. I start this presentation usually at about 10:15 and certainly by 10:20. So those of you who are not showing up until after 10:30, if you'd like to not delay the proceedings, you could click a little earlier. Okay, here we go to share. Whoops. No, we're not. I've got to go back. Look in on my, yeah, here it is. Now let's go back and try. Yeah, there we are. Okay. Here is today's presentation.
Can you get rid of all the other things that are on your screen?
Hold on. What are you still seeing?
Stuff near the bottom. Maybe it's your closed captions.
I moved those over to the right somewhere.
You could just turn those off.
That means stop sharing and go back. Hold on a minute. Yep, I guess I've got to do that. There are the, I need to go to more and
Should be the caret on the right side of the live transcript.
it said hide.
Subtitles.
Yeah, hide subtitles, and that is now gone. So now you should, whoops. Gotta close this one up at the top. Now it should be clear.
Yeah, there's one down toward the bottom, but that's probably the controls for the share screen.
Yep. Let's see, I think I can move that. Yes, I can. I think if I put it up at the top, it'll be better. Yeah. All right, here we go.
This is a tutorial about Facebook. It is difficult to do a tutorial on Facebook because Facebook is hard. You have to have a Facebook page before you can really look around very much. And as soon as I finish this tutorial, it will be out of date because Facebook has this habit of changing Facebook. So let's get on with it before something happens. I'm going to cover the news feed, the timeline, the search feature, friend requests, messages, notifications, and lots more. So now let us shift to a Facebook page, namely mine. And the first thing I'm going to show you on this Facebook page is how to find the help menu. To do that, you go to this dark blue bar up at the top and you slide to the left until you get to the first place where your cursor turns into a hand where you can click, and you'll get a pop-up menu, and down close to the bottom is help. And when that pop-up pops up, down at the bottom you can see Visit the Help Center, which will take you to a place where you can search all over in Facebook for problems or questions with Facebook. You can get to the same place by going to Google or Bing or whatever, or Yahoo or whatever is your search helper, and typing in Facebook help. Clicking search and going to the top item, which is the Facebook Help Center, which is back to the same page. From here, you can navigate for all sorts of areas of Facebook in which you will have questions. And believe me, you will have questions. I've had 100 of them just getting ready to start doing this mini seminar. And I still have more. For example, the first thing you probably ought to read some in the Facebook help area is this using Facebook, creating an account. It will tell you answers to questions like, how do I sign up for Facebook? How do I complete the sign up process and confirm my email address? Because you can't really get started on Facebook until you have a Facebook account. So, I suggest that's where you start. But now let's assume that you have actually gotten into the beginning of Facebook and you have a Facebook page. There probably isn't much on it, but now you want to know what is on it. When you have a Facebook page and you open up your Facebook page, you will see in the middle of it what is called your news feed. And that is where you learn all about all the things that other people on Facebook are doing. Now, not everybody on Facebook, but other people that you are either friends with or you have followed, or who are in groups that you are in and have posted something. So in the middle is this news feed, and you can scroll down and down and down, and you can see what all your friends and all the people that you have followed are doing. Now, it doesn't stay constant. You can reset it by going up here to the place just to the right of your name that says Home. And when you click on Home, it will reset and give you the latest things that people who are your friends or whom you are following have posted. It changes pretty rapidly. You see, I'm now scrolling down and you don't see the same things you saw the last time I scrolled down. And if I go back up here again and click Home, once again, you see new things that people who are your friends or whom you are following have posted. That is your news feed. It is not your timeline or your wall. That is something else, which I'll cover in just a moment. Now let's talk for a minute about what is the purpose of Facebook and how does it accomplish that purpose. Obviously, Facebook is a social medium. It's one of many social media and probably the most successful. Its purpose is to communicate between friends and also to communicate to people about public figures. Those are the public figures are the people that you can follow. You wouldn't necessarily ask the anchor of the evening news to be your friend, but you might very well follow them, or a politician. So those people, your friends and people you follow, communicate with you by your seeing what they have posted on Facebook on your news feed. How do you communicate with them? You do that by posting on your timeline. How do you get there? You go back and click on your name. And when that comes up, it goes immediately to your timeline. And you then see things that you have posted on your timeline. It used to be called a wall. And your friends and people who are following you can see those things. Here, I posted on something I found interesting on someone else's website, and I shared it on my website. Here is something that I posted automatically. Facebook posted it for me on my birthday. It put a page up, or a post up, that said it was my birthday on July 1st. And on July 2nd, one of my friends posted a happy belated birthday, and so did many other people. Now you may ask, what are other people like Tammy Fardairud, doing on my timeline? Well, if they post a picture on Facebook and they tag you in that picture, and I'm in that picture right there, that picture and what they said about it will show up on your timeline. Here's another one where they must have tagged me, because there I am in that picture. And now we're down to something else that I posted. Now let's talk to something else that you can do while you're on the page that's all about you, your timeline. Right next to your timeline, it says About. And if you click there, that's a place that you should enter some information when you first set up your personal page on Facebook. It allows you to tell about your work and education, places you've lived, contact and basic information. It allows you to put up a picture, a photo of you, and a picture at the top of your page. You can put in people who are in your family, details about you, and life events. Mine shows this as a summary. But if you click any one of these, you can put down in your work places you have worked and places you have gone to high school or gone to college or gone to graduate school. You probably ought to do that pretty soon after you set up a Facebook page. Now, let's talk about friends on Facebook. We've talked about your profile. We've talked about your home page, which is your news feed. And right next to that, it says Find Friends. If I click that, I will see all the friend requests that I have received. People can send you friend requests, and I'll show you how you do that in a moment. And if they do, you get to confirm or delete the request of each of the people who has sent you a friend request. You also can search for friends over here using the various things that you have put in your profile about you. You can click the box where you went to high school. And if you do that, you will get a list of people who have some connection with St. Paul's School. If I click on one of those people, I will get to see their information, the introduction to their information. And it says that she went to St. Paul's School in Concord, New Hampshire. And that is the same place that I went to St. Paul's School. I kind of think that she's a little younger than I am. The chances that I was there anywhere near the same time are about zip squat nothing. But if I wanted to, I could go up here to her page, the top of her page, and click add a friend. And when I did that, it would send a friend request to her. There is another way to find people with whom you might like to be a friend. You can go up here to the search box right at the top of Facebook anytime you're on Facebook looking at anybody's page and type in someone's name. Let's try Will Wakely. There he is. I can tell because I see his picture. If I go there, I see that I am already friends with Will Wakely. Well, let's try someone else. Ouise. Whoops. I'm not doing very well in the spelling department today. Louise. Look. Louise S. Gillingham. There is Louise's Facebook page. And in this case, I am not yet her friend. But if I click add friend right here, it now says friend request sent. And Louise will get a notification that I have sent her a request to be her friend. Now let's get to some more things up here on this menu bar at the top. To the right, the next little black icon is friend requests. You've already seen that. When you click here, you will see this list of friends requests that you have received, and you get the opportunity to confirm or delete each one of those requests. The next one is messages. And when you click on that, you will see individual messages that people have sent to you. Now, on this next one, you see there is a red number at the top. Those are new notifications. There were new messages a few minutes ago, but when I was preparing to do this particular segment of the recording, I clicked on messages and that little red number went away, just as the notifications will go away. There are 62 notifications since I last clicked here. So let's see what I get when I click again. This says that 3 Master Bedroom Fairway Home, which is a business page of mine on Facebook, I'll talk more about that at the end of this, has 10 new views. This one says at Hollykeeper Golf Course Home, which is another page of mine, has 4 new likes, 1 new comment, 2 new post likes, and 95 new views. And this tells me that 13 hours ago, 2 people commented on a post that I made, etc., etc., etc. These are things that Facebook tells you about, usually about other people who have done something about one of your posts or have done something on your page. Now let's talk a bit about privacy, and that's up here over to the right of notifications, privacy shortcuts. Oh, by the way, notice there's a new red number, 1, up here on notifications. Things happen on Facebook pretty fast. It's been about a minute and a half since I clicked on this last. Privacy shortcuts. This is an area that you probably should learn a lot about soon after you set up a Facebook page. And here's the place to learn. You click there, and you will get some very specific questions and answers to them. Who can see my stuff? Who can contact me? How do I stop someone from bothering me? But down below that, there are more settings and the privacy basics. This is the place, privacy basics, where you can learn a lot about Facebook. Get to know Facebook under privacy basics is the first place you ought to go. When you click that, you will get all of these pieces of information, each one of which you have to click on and read. What others see about you, how others interact with you, what you see, and you can customize what you can see, and you can customize who sees what about you and how to keep your account secure. It is a pretty complicated subject, and if you're concerned about your privacy or you're going to post on anything on Facebook that you don't want the entire world to know, you need to understand this. Finally, let's say that after you create your Facebook personal information, your personal page on Facebook, suppose you decide that you have a business or a hobby or a bunch of friends and you want to set up a business page or a hobby page for that activity. Well, you do it by going up here, and when you click this drop-down menu, one of the options is create a page. But to see just how you do it, I think the most efficient way is to Google, create Facebook business page. And when you get there, you click how to set up a Facebook page, Facebook for Business, and you play this video tutorial.
Creating a page for your business is free and it's quick to set up. Just click the arrow in the top right corner and select Create Page. Select the category for your business and enter your business info. Then click Get Started. Here, you'll enter additional info about your business. Entering this info makes it easier for people to find you on Facebook and find your page in a web search. Next, add a picture for your page, like your logo or a picture of your business. You can also add your page to your favorites, so you can easily access it from your Facebook account. And finally, you can run an ad so you can let people know about your Facebook page. If you don't want to run an ad, just click Skip and your page is ready to go. To learn more about Pages, visit this URL.
Here's where to learn more about Facebook, what you can do with it, what you have already done with it. Go to your home page, and on the left side, you will see all sorts of information. It's a place to find your business pages. Click right here where it says more. It's a place to look at the groups that you have joined. It is a place to go to your profile and edit it. It has all sorts of information. All you have to do is click. Facebook is a fascinating place. I have learned more about Facebook by putting this tutorial together than I ever thought I would know, and I am afraid that one of the major things I've learned is that I still don't know anywhere near as much as there is to know. So, good luck.
Very good.
Let's see. I need to, hold on, I need to move this. Yeah, and then I need to get rid of this and that. That was made, learning to use Facebook was made in September of 2016, 6 years ago. But it was made with Windows 10, so it's somewhat contemporary.
I've got a couple questions, Hank. On when you were doing your screen, I didn't want to interrupt the, your presentation, but is there a way to, like, when you did most of the stuff, we could read it, but sometimes it was very small. Was there a way that I could, besides holding a magnifying glass over it, make it bigger?
Yes. Probably the best way is for you to go play this YouTube video for yourself on your own computer. And
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
when you, I'll tell you how to do that in a minute. And when you get to the place that you want to see bigger, change the size of your presentation on your screen. You can stop the video when you get to that spot and hold the control down and press the plus button, and it usually will zoom your screen in.
Okay.
Let me get back. Let me show you how to do that. Yeah, meeting controls. How come I cannot get my, where are we? Here we are, right here. I can't seem to get my own page back. Do you all still have your standard Zoom page?
We're looking at your screen share in your web browser, I believe, right
Hold
now.
on. There, that's better. I'll stop sharing and then you won't have to do that. Okay. I probably will start sharing again, but let me go back to a place on my computer. And then I'll share when I get there. Here we go. Now let me share. This is how to get to how to play this thing at home. You go to Hank's Mini Seminars, which you know you can get by going to the Seniors Computer Group webpage, and you go to resources. And in resources, the first thing in resources is Hank's mini seminars. And when you get there, you'll come to this page, which is a list of all the mini seminars I put together, about 100, and I think it's 125 or something rather by now. And this is in section F, called individual programs. And F10 is learning to use Facebook. So if you come over here to the right, where there are these blue links, and you click on one of them, it will bring up the, in your case, it will probably bring up and actually start the YouTube video. In my case, it brings me to the link to start the video, and I would click this to start it again. Okay.
Okay,
Questions?
thank you. One more question. This is probably in addition, but how does Messenger fit into this? Every now and then, I don't really do Facebook. I do, people send me messages through the Gmail, and then I look at whatever they've got. But every now and then someone says they left me a message, or they're tried to do Messenger, and
I don't speak Messenger. Who speaks Messenger? Wave your hand. Whoops.
Will.
Where's David and Saul? They normally bail me out of this. Rob?
there-
Will answer as soon as he unmutes himself.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I use Messenger all the time. There is a place on Facebook where you can click on Messenger and it will show private messages. They're often called DMs, or direct message. And you can then send and receive private messages from other people that are on Facebook. I can show that to you later on if I can share a window.
You can go ahead, show it now if you wish.
Well, I want to show a lot of other stuff. So why don't we have David ask his question?
By the way, everybody, I currently plan for Will to talk about Facebook next week, if he's still willing after watching that.
Well, actually, we can probably do it this week and not worry about something else next week.
I just as soon leave it for next week, because we're probably, by the time we get through Q&A today, we're going to be pretty long.
Okay.
David has his hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that while you were doing that bit about trying to set up a business page or whatever it was, I followed the instructions, and you get there and you don't get to Facebook, you get to Meta.
Yes, Facebook is no longer Facebook. Facebook is now Meta.
And so, and the page looks entirely different to what was in there. So you are warning that, anything that happened, any recording you make this week is out of date by next week, seems to be quite true. And if they've changed the name of the company and how they do things. So, I think in general, we need to sort of take this as, here's the kinds of things, but your individual experience, your mileage may vary, as they say.
Amen. Will.
Yeah, just a couple comments. Hank, that was great. I use Facebook quite a bit, and you showed me some things that I really didn't know about, but I'm glad to learn about.
They may not be true anymore.
Well, from what I can tell, most of them are. Number one, Facebook does a lot of censoring, so be careful what you say. If you say the wrong things, they can actually put you in what they call Facebook jail for some extended period of time, which you can't then communicate on Facebook. And I don't know exactly what things they kick you off for. Well, obviously, pornography and bad language and attacking various people, those sort of things will put you into Facebook jail. Fortunately, I've never been there, but I have a lot of friends who frequent the jail quite often. So apparently they say the wrong things at the wrong time. The other thing I would like to cover next week, show you how to create a Facebook message, and how you can, when you comment on the news that you get, well, you can comment on the news that you get, and I'll show you how to do commenting. And you can direct the comment to any particular response to any particular message. So you can direct your comments to a specific person. And in notifications, if you click on a notification, it will take you to the actual web page where it shows the comment or whatever you're responding to. So you don't just need to read about what it is, you actually can see what a person has said or whatever. You can also just click a like on a particular comment and add an emoji to it. So you don't have to physically type anything there, just like it or add an emoji, and you can respond to your friends that way. Glad to hear about privacy. I wasn't aware of that, but anyway, next week we can cover it in more detail. I'll show you what I have on my page and how I move around it. But good presentation, Hank. I really like that.
Yeah, thanks, Hank. That was good.
I was kind of amazed when I went back. 6 years is a long time in my world, and I had totally forgotten that I'd done this, and until, I don't know, somehow somebody reminded me that I had a Facebook presentation on YouTube. By the way, I am writing down right now an idea for a new presentation here. And the presentation is going to be on YouTube, how you get on YouTube and how, and what happens to you after you get on YouTube and have been there for quite a while. I've been there for quite a while. Every one of those things you see on that list of presentations is a time when I put something up on YouTube, and some of them go back 10 years and more.
Well, one problem is you can get hacked on YouTube, and people can essentially hack your name and post various messages. You need to be careful about that, because they will pretend that they are you and do all kinds of bad things.
Get you sent to jail?
No, not that I know of, but I have been hacked a couple times, and people go out and ask to be friended and things like that. I haven't had any really bad things happen on Facebook that I know about.
And this is on YouTube you've been hacked, or on Facebook?
Facebook, I'm sorry. Did I say YouTube? I meant
Yeah,
Facebook.
you said YouTube, and I don't.
I'm sorry, I meant
I
Facebook.
don't know about being hacked
Yeah.
on YouTube. I don't think so.
No.
Okay, I see no more hands.
Well, actually, I do. Oh, can we go
I
back
do.
to, can we
Yes,
go
ma'am.
back to the messenger thing? If I get a Gmail saying I have a message or messenger, I know that I have to go to my Facebook page, which I never do unless there's there. And then I think I see the message, but I don't know how to respond to it. So
I can show you how to do that right now if you like.
yeah, I'm kind of missing something somewhere along the line.
Hank, would you like me to show her that?
Go ahead.
Okay, I need to share screen.
You can do that, Will.
All right. Let's find out where I have Facebook. There we are.
Yeah. And we can do a reprise next week.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And do you see my Facebook page?
Yes,
You
we
do.
Okay. All right. This is what comes up when I first bring it up. And if you want to post a message, you notice right here where my finger is, it says, "What's on your mind, Will?" That's where you would post an immediate message that you might have. That comes up whenever you come first onto Facebook. But
Okay,
up
but
here
what is
in the
that?
upper right-hand corner, there's my picture. Next to it are notifications, of which there are 3. Then next to that are messages. Messenger. Do you see that, Pat?
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. If you click on that, up comes messages that and tells you how long ago they were put up. And here are new message requests. Usually these are people asking to be friended. Let me click on it and see what happens. Okay, these are people quite a while ago that have said things. I don't know those, but if I want to post a message, I will click on Messenger and then go down to whatever the contact person is that I want to send a message to. And I expect somewhere I could probably do a search to find the person I want to do it. There it is, search. And let me send one to Hank. Hank Drayton, there it is. And I will say Hank Drayton, and it will come up. And then down here at the bottom, where you see the double A's at the bottom of the page, I then put my message in there and I say, hi, Hank. This is a test. And then you click the right, this blue right arrowhead is the send icon. And you're
That's a paper airplane.
yeah, and you click that and it then shows this message has gone to Hank. And my messages show up in blue. His messages show up, I think probably this draw a stick man may be one of his messages. I'm not sure. But you can respond to messages, and then when you're done with that, click on this blue X at the upper right hand corner to close it. And now that message has gone away. And so between these two, I use those all the time. Number one, to get notifications. And if I get a notification, for instance,
Have another question. Well,
sure.
before you go. Okay, so that message that you sent to Hank, is that
Yes.
gonna appear in his email, or where does that appear?
It will appear in his messages on Facebook, very much like what I just did. So he will see that and he can answer back to me again, and I can see that by clicking on Messenger, and it will, if I have any messages, it will show it. And but right at this point in messages, I don't have any messages other than I have message requests. These probably are people that want to well, usually it's people that want to be friended, which I rarely friend anybody. I'm bad about that. Unless I know them personally, I don't usually, or they may be a close friend of a friend of mine, then I might friend them, but usually I ignore it. But I have,
So-
hundreds of, not hundreds, but I have dozens of people every day wanting to friend me. And I'm not a very good friend.
Oh, yeah.
I have gone to my Facebook page and clicked on Messenger, and the top thing says Will Wickley. Hack
Oh,
is a test.
Okay, did you answer it at all?
No. but I'm-
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, if you
Okay.
answer it, it'll show up here on my page.
okay.
wait a minute.
Well,
Here
why
we
don't we
go.
check? Can we check
I'm
that?
just gonna say, hi, Will.
Yeah,
Another test. How does it
Like-
appear in my
see
Gmail?
here, see, I clicked on messages and here is his response back to me. And if I click on that, it then brings it up and it shows, I sent, hi, Hank, this is a test. He responded down here by saying, hi, Will. And I can then respond to that by typing in something down here and sending it. But
It's very much like using text messages on your phone, except this is in the Facebook
yes,
application.
yeah, right,
Okay.
exactly. Now, to just show you something, if you click on notifications and you see a notification, if you click on this, it will take you to the place where that showed up. For instance, here's 7 hours ago, my niece sent me a message, and I responded to that, and apparently, see this blue thing here? She has responded to my posting where I said, congratulations on a great business. And she came back and did what's called a like. You see this word like under here. You can do a re-like, or you can actually do a written reply to it. And you can add emojis or whatever they're called to it. So there's various things that you can do. I don't know what this does, edit or delete. Oh, any message that you do, if you go onto these 3 ellipses on the right, if you click on that, you can do various things. You can edit or delete your message. And that's very valuable sometimes when you decide that you really didn't want to send that message.
Will,
Anyway,
maybe
gonna
you
do
want to
more
save
next
this
week.
for next week?
Yeah, we
And
will.
Pat was
Okay.
asking, why does she get an email in her Gmail account about a Facebook Messenger sent? Could you answer that?
I have no idea.
Maybe it's not a legitimate email. Maybe it's bogus and it's a phishing email.
No, it's not. It's from my cousin and from my ex's good friend that, we correspond with. So
Did he
Yeah.
send you an email to say, I sent you a Facebook Messenger notification or whatever?
yeah, right. Yeah, they do that. I get all their Facebook stuff, and then every now and then this messenger thing, and I always, email back. I don't know how to do email message. And finally, my ex's pal, who's really into computers and stuff, he told me how to do part of it, but not all of it. And then the Gmail, I didn't know how they both appeared in Gmail, but
I think you just answered your own question.
Yeah.
You said they sent you an email.
Yeah,
no, well, they sent me an email saying that there was a message for me.
Right, it's like if I called you and said, I just sent you an email, maybe you ought to check your email because I just sent you one.
Mhm. Yeah, so they see
Oh,
that.
yeah, well, that was part of it, but I was wondering how it got to be in my Gmail. That was the question.
Because they sent you an email.
You
Yeah.
think they sent an email No, they sent
Separately.
something through message, but anyway, that's okay. Never mind.
No.
Next
Yeah.
week.
You're missing the concept.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Saul is correct. They sent you an email notifying you that you had a message.
Yeah, they're just, they know you check your email more than you check your Facebook Messenger.
And they
So
sent it to you using your Gmail email address. And that's why it shows up in your Gmail.
So they're
I think
just,
what Pat is saying, not that she gets it from Facebook, not from the people who send the email message. Now, it may have to do with notifications, your notification settings
No,
in
I don't believe so.
Facebook.
perhaps we could research this for next week.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll check their.
I'd like to get on to Q&A if we're done. Do we have any more? Dan, is your question about book on the presentation?
I was going to ask Fran, Pat, excuse me, whether she checked the source of the email that she got saying he had a message.
Well.
Who was it from?
Well, it was either from my cousin or from, like I said, my ex's pal. So,
And that's who it was from.
If that's who it was from and that's what it says in Gmail, then you just got a plain old.
I'll have to go back and look at it because
Yeah.
it wasn't a regular email that you could respond to.
Okay. Then
I don't know. I'll have to.
take it, go back and find it, take a picture of it on with your screen capture and come back and show it to us.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's
see if I can find
move on now.
Thank you.
Questions or comments about the Facebook YouTube presentation? Okay, now let's go to Q&A. And Will and Saul and anybody else will.
No one has raised a hand.
If somebody will raise.
I have raised my hand.
Oh, okay.
Well, you've done a clap. You haven't done a raise hand. That's slightly different.
It's close enough, David.
I know,
Okay.
but yeah,
Sorry.
we're still training people.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
Raise hand.
So, okay. So my question has
There you are.
thank you. My question has to do with Android 11. And specifically, my question has to do with when let's see, when I want to see, okay, Android 11 gives me the whole series of apps that I have. The problem is there is no name on those apps, so I have no idea what they are. And my question is, what should I do so that when I see a list of apps that I have,
So the icons have names. You want to know how you can set it up so your icons have names under them.
Precisely. Yes, precisely.
I would like to know that too.
Answer to that, is anybody else?
I'm not sure, but we can have a quick look at that. It's going to be probably in your home screen settings. So if you find settings and look at your home screen, there's probably a way that you can adjust what the icons look like and whether they have names on them. We
I have
can,
a Galaxy S22 something or other. And I'm
So
sure-
I have, so when I do home screen, I have home screen style, home screen grid, left home screen, and Google Feeds. So would it be under home screen style, home and drawer screen?
See, at this
all,
point,
all my icons have names underneath them.
Right, and I don't, so that's why I would like to know. So
And-
I'm wondering if it's because I don't have the right action launcher.
What you might do is go on your search and search on how to add names to
Icons.
to cell phone icons.
Okay.
Or what phone do you have, Elizabeth? Who's the maker?
It's a Chinese TCL
Oh.
that I got from Track Phone.
Yeah.
And I really like the phone, and it was really inexpensive. So I'm pleased with the whole thing, and I would just like to see how to add names to icons.
Yes, and hope it doesn't come up in Chinese.
yeah.
Yes.
Maybe they're
I
already there.
think-
Maybe
I
they're already
think this
there.
is something for 611.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Your phone advisor, your phone provider tech support. 611 will get to your phone provider tech support, and they should know something about the phone that you have.
Yeah,
Okay.
they ought to be able to answer you directly.
So I'm wondering, is there a particular action launcher that you particularly like? I have Action Launcher, and Microsoft Launcher. And anyway, I'm just wondering if there's one launcher that does a better job than others.
What's a launcher?
I don't know. That's what I have.
It's sort of like what runs your desktop, but it's for the Android.
Precisely.
And I've always just used the one that came with the phone. So I don't use other launchers, but again, I think that's a good 611 question.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
I would like more discussion on launcher. I have no idea what that is.
Sure you want to go down that rabbit hole, Will?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Enjoy the trip.
Does
Saul, you
anybody
just-
know about launcher?
No, I'm just saying, just because something gets brought up here doesn't mean we ought to pursue it.
Well,
No, but
And what we learned last week from Mary Burns was every phone with Android has a different layout and settings and everything. So there's no single answer to Elizabeth's question.
Okay.
however, well, I think there's a general answer, and I think you know it, Saul. What is a quote launcher?
Well, again, it depends on the platform. If I'm on Mac, for instance, there's a launcher that brings up icons that you want to come up, for instance, and things like that. So every platform has a different definition.
So I have an Android 11 cell phone. So, okay.
yeah, I also
accept-
have a Android 11.
Elizabeth, you have a particular brand. Android is a type of phone like iPad
Right,
and Android.
right.
But yours is it a Galaxy?
No, it's TCL. It's a Chinese brand
Yeah,
that Track Phone sells.
yeah. TCL is a common.
Yeah, actually, it's one of the biggest cell phone companies in China. I mean,
Yes.
it's not a small mom and pop thing.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of wondering if a launcher is, for example, on my phone, I have down at the bottom a little button and a little circle in the middle. It's either a circle or a slightly rounded square.
Right, right.
And that's what I press to get the beginning menu. Is that what you call a launcher? The little-
Frankly,
square?
I frankly don't know what I call a launcher. All I see is what I have, so I don't know what it means.
Okay.
I just Googled what is an Android launcher, and there's several different things. There's a good one from CNET, everything you need to know about Android launchers. So
Okay.
Google is your friend.
That's the place
Okay.
to go to get the answer that I shouldn't have asked.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
While you're all here, let me explain to you the difference. If you go down to the bottom and click reactions, there is a hand in the upper left-hand corner, and there's also down at the whole bottom, there's a whole line that says raise hand. There's a difference in what happens. If you click raise hand on everybody's screen, the person whose hand just got raised jumps to the upper left-hand corner of the bunch of screens if you're in gallery view. There I am. I'm now in the upper left-hand corner. I'm the only one who has his hand raised.
And it signifies you want to speak.
Yeah, and it catches my attention, and I'm the guy who is calling on people. So please use that one if you can, because otherwise I might miss you, as I did with Elizabeth.
And then when you're done,
Not in the upper right-hand corner on my screen.
okay. And then when you're done, go down and click on lower hand.
Yeah.
And what does the other one where you click on?
That would be
this?
applause.
Applause, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think Hank appreciates the applause.
Yeah, there's an old song by that name. I used to sing
Well,
it in a small group.
The applause only stays up there for seconds, so it disappears. So it'll just be there for like a second, whereas that hand will stay there till you lower it.
Okay, we're still in Q&A, and I don't see any more Qs. Why does Stanley have an X in? Oh, there he is. He just took it away.
I was just demonstrating the features you were talking about.
Ah, good for you.
He was saying yes and no, and go faster, go slower, those sorts of things.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even
A
know.
lot of stuff
Want
in
to do
that.
it again?
Yeah.
Reaction box.
When I'm on a long meeting and occasionally I have to go, I put on my I'm away coffee cup and I turn off my video, and that way people know that, don't try talking to me because I've, gone off to get a sandwich or something.
So where did you find that, David?
That was under reactions. That was the first row was the sort of clap and hand up. The second row is the yes, no, faster, slower. The fifth one is the I'm away coffee cup.
Oh, I see it. Oh,
There
I
it
got
is.
it. Okay,
I'm
thanks.
away.
Yeah, and then just like the raise hand, I have to lower it explicitly to make it go away.
Oh, okay. Okay, thanks.
Stanley just loves this conversation.
I have an Android question. I've got a lot of pictures in my gallery, which I'm sure has taken up a lot of space on my phone. How do you're saying no, Ross? It's not taking up
If
space.
you have
on my
it,
phone?
do you see when you go to your computer and you go to open up your Gmail account, on the upper right-hand side, you have the 9 dots. If you see
Yes.
the photos in there under photos, then they're being synchronized from your phone to Google. When they're synchronized to Google, it removes them from your phone. They're no longer physically on your phone anymore.
But they do show up, but they're not physically there.
And how do you do that, Ross?
They're not taking up any space. So you go to you open up, easiest way to me is you just open up your Gmail account. Back over,
Okay, yeah.
and you have the 9 dots on the upper right-hand side.
Yeah, I know how to do that.
Okay, and then there's under the 9 dots, there's photos.
And that should have all the photos that have been synced to Gmail from your phone.
I
Okay.
moved my photos icon to the upper left. That's the one I use the most. If I click on that, then it shows me the photos that I've taken with my phone.
Okay, thank you. However, I looked in documents and I couldn't figure out how to delete documents from my phone.
You're on your phone, you've stored documents?
Apparently,
read them there?
I didn't realize I did, but I see about 4 or 5 documents there that are taking up like 60 megabytes each or something. And I tried to delete them and I couldn't find any way to delete.
You should be able to go to File Manager and then search that folder, select them and delete them.
File Manager. Okay, thank you. I'll try that.
Careful about what you're deleting if you don't know what it is, because it may be something that you really want. I get calls from people saying, well, I'm cleaning my computer up, so I thought I'd get rid of all of these things. Now this doesn't work anymore and I can't find. And to come find out that, you know, that they really didn't need to delete them. There wasn't that much space. So, Will, how much space do you have on your phone and how much do you have free?
I'll have to look it up.
Well, that's, to me, that's where you should start versus going in and starting to remove items.
Okay, thanks.
Sometimes I'll get something downloaded onto my phone that was like an attachment from an email that I wanted to look at. And it made a local copy. I don't need it anymore. I don't need that PDF. So I will delete it. But again, that's usually small potatoes compared to other things on the phone.
Stan?
If you're concerned about not having things backed up or stored, what I've been doing on my Google Photos is I tried to do it once a month. I'm a little behind on it now, but I download photos from my Google Photo online stuff, download them to folders on my external terabyte hard drives, and then I have a copy on my hard drives of all of my photos. But I routinely access photos through Google Photos. But as a backup, I have downloaded them and create a folder of the date for which the photos are taken in. So I have a backup of all the photos on external hard drives.
Okay, other questions, comments? Hank, I guess we're done with Q&A.
Hank has to come back.
Where's his coffee cup?
Yeah, right. Yeah, now that we know
He,
about the
he didn't find that. Frankly, I don't think I found that on my reactions either, but maybe, you know, I know always see the same things other people see.
Okay, I'm looking at it.
found it. That's
Oh, I
cool.
do see a coffee cup. Yes, I do. Okay.
So,
Click on that.
Will, I have on my computer or on my phone an application called My Files. I'm pretty sure I got it from the Android store. And when I open that up, it tells me internal storage, how much I have and how much I've used. And it gives me categories then, just kind of like in a Windows Explorer, that lets you look at the different things you have: videos, images, documents, downloads, compressed. And then I can see on the bottom where it says recent files. So then once I look at those recent files, then I can delete the ones that I don't want to have anymore.
Okay, I'll take a look at that. Thank you.
And I stand corrected. I do see the coffee cup. It was in a different location than where I was looking.
Is Hank back yet?
No, but Stan's moving his lips, except we can't hear him.
I'm sorry. I just want to, I'm taking advantage of the lull in the discussion to thank everybody for being here today. And I'm not closing the meeting. But maybe when Hank gets back, he'll choose to. But anyway, it continues our information exchange, and I think it works out very well.
Okay, just for fun, if I just hit files, it shows all these things here, and I can go in and look and see, things that are there. I no longer need the quick guide, so I can just select that and I can move that to the trash and away it goes.
David, would you go back and you went through the first part of it very quickly. Where are you? Okay.
I'm
you're
right up
files.
here under files.
Okay, I don't have that icon.
Yeah, you may have to, load it from the set of all of the apps that are on there, but files is the way to do that. So
You have to download that app.
it should come with your phone. It's probably a built-in app.
Okay.
It's under, it should be under settings, but I don't see files. Is it under storage on settings?
It is under the list of the applications that are on the phone.
Yeah, if you
Also
just look at all the
search for it.
things that are here, it should be under F for files.
But you can search for it too. There's a
Yeah.
search bar. Search for it. You can try that.
Yeah,
Well,
Oh, I get
the
mine.
search at the top there is to search at Google.
yeah, that's the search at Google up there, but
Oh, okay.
I just
I'll have
wanted
a search
to show you that. And that's partly, I look at that to see what's taking up space on my phone. And I also will, check my card to see how much space I have left. If I've got a 64 gig card and I got 30 gigs left, I'm not worrying about stuff. If I've got a 16 gig card and I got 200 megabytes left, then I do.
I don't lock my phone. Am I leaving myself open to a lot of problems?
Only when you lose it.
Okay.
Might be why Hank said you ought to check the security settings in your Facebook account, which might be why you might have gotten hacked, because they might be a little loose.
Well, they set me up or had me do some separate thing for security. Right now, I don't recall what it was, but it was probably a year or more ago. And I did that, but I have been hacked since then. So
Facebook has been hacked.
It's
Yeah.
usually password length. The longer your password is, the harder and longer it takes to hack it. So if you have a favorite password that's, say, less than 10 characters, if you type your password out, it should have a uppercase, lowercase, number, and special character. Then if you hold the shift key down and type it in again, it's a double the length of a password and increase the complexity of it. And that's really hard to break.
one thing about passwords, don't they have to test each password that they generate? And isn't that a problem that they do it more than half a dozen times, they get shut off or something?
I don't understand the question.
Well, every time they try a new password, don't they have to test that password to see if it works?
Well, no, you can write a program that sends out characters, an automatic keyboard as such, that goes in and tries, and then they wait for it to open up, and then they go to the next one. But a lot of sources that you're connecting into say, after so many failures, they lock out this account for, say, a half an hour or an hour to try to cut down on that. But that's dependent upon the company you're trying to log into.
I was going to say, just 4 characters of a 26, actually 36 character vocabulary that you have, that works out to, I would think, thousands and thousands of tries. And if they have to try each one, it seems to me that the probability of success approaches 0.
That's not, a 4-character password is easy to break.
Well, what is 36?
Let me tell you what the recommendations are, sir. That you should have a password of 10 characters or more, an uppercase, a lowercase, a number, and a special character.
Well,
And-
isn't the number 36 factorial the number of different variations? And
Okay.
that is a huge number.
I'm trying to recommend to you, sir, what I hear from many, many sources on security and password requirements.
Yeah, I'm just questioning their logic.
Okay, so you are the one that's getting broken into, sir, so you might need to do something a little tougher.
And Ross says, oftentimes, your uppercase, lowercase, hopefully it's not a word that's in a dictionary.
Yeah, that's the other problem. If you do a dictionary word, you're in trouble.
Or
I agree
use
with
your
that.
name or
Yeah.
something else that's easily changeable. But again, the length of the password, if you have a 25-character password, it doesn't really matter what the sentence is or is in there. It that many combinations that someone has to go through. And again, you don't have someone who is sitting there typing. It's a computer that's doing this.
True.
And
But
they can do it for
isn't
an
the
hour a
number-
day.
Isn't the number of variations factorial? In other words, if it's
I think it's just a power, 36 to the 4th power.
And the number of characters in each character set. So if you're using uppercase, then you have 26 characters. If you use lowercase, you have 26 characters. If you're using numbers, you have 1 through 9. Excuse me, 0 through 9. If you use a special character, you've added another 9 characters, the ones that are across the top of the keyboard. So each one of those increases the number of combinations dramatically that they have to go through to get to your password.
So far, I've counted almost 100. And if that's to the power, Saul, you said.
Yeah.
Well, I was using your basis of the 36, the 26 letters and the 10 digits, but as Ross said, you add the special characters to that. Anyway, Dan has had his hand up for quite a while.
Okay, hi, Dan.
Yes, computers speak binary. Therefore, it doesn't matter whether it's uppercase, lowercase, a number, or whatever. If you start off with 0 and you count up through the binary characters, and it depends on how far you can go before you run out of the password box that you've reserved. So programmers write a program, the first thing you have to do is reserve a space for the password. If they reserve enough space, then you're all right. If they don't reserve enough space, you can overrun and write into somewhere else. So you get into various and difficult problems there. But when you're trying to break a password, you can start off with 0 and, like I said, count up binarily until you end up filling up the password, and you'll find the password. It just takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And you have to test each one.
Yeah. Several times
The computer tests it, Will, so it takes very little time for each iteration for it to go through and pound against your account.
And if the program they're pounding against doesn't cut them off after a certain while, then they will just pound and you won't even notice that they're pounding on the door.
Right.
And again, they can say, okay, they realize that for, say, Facebook, they can get this many times before they get blocked for, say, an hour. And they'll just put that pause in and then come back in an hour and go continue on again.
Yeah.
And the computer, it doesn't care.
And in that hour, they'll be pounding on 47,000 other doors until they get blocked out.
Okay.
I had to leave for a little while, so I don't know what you've been talking about. But
We've been talking about your lack of coffee cup.
it was a telephone call from the tenant in Hawaii who has not paid me in 3 months and for whom I have hired an eviction lawyer. I have to take that call.
So we've been discussing nothing of great importance other than trying to figure out how long it would take to break passwords. Are we about done?
Well, I just like to say I like Will's background.
Mhm.
It's
Oh,
Are you
I
a
have no idea what that
pyromaniac?
I have no idea what that one is, but it was obviously either a sunrise or a sunset somewhere.
It looks to me like something out of Arizona. Are those saguaro cactus over there on the right? I guess.
No,
No, they look more like
Trees.
palm trees, yes.
no,
Or
pines.
pine
Pine
trees.
trees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other pea tree.
Hello, Dan.
Yes, I seem to have missed the way to raise your coffee cup. I have a lower hand and yes, oh, go slower, go faster. I do not have a coffee cup down
Do you
here.
have a more?
What?
Do you have?
Right above raise hand on the right.
But people, Dan has a very old version of the Zoom app on his computer. He is not seeing what you are seeing.
Yeah, I was about to say that, yeah.
Do you have
Dan
any
has,
ellipsis on the right, Dan, of the three dots?
no, Dan, what version of, do you have of Zoom? I think ours are quite a bit newer than yours.
And
You're correct.
he's on a Chromebook, so the
Mine
Chrome
is
screen is going
Mine
to
is 5.0. See, 5.0.1. And I've requested them to upgrade it because I get a message at the top of the screen that says it's not going to work after this month. So, and it actually, it says it's a Zoom for Chrome that I need.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on. And like I said, I don't have administrative powers and I cannot do anything to this computer.
Dan, do you ever have anybody else come on to try to join our group? That's why you're using this particular Chromebook, isn't it?
Well, the only thing on this computer is Chrome. This is a Chrome computer.
But I thought you were using that strictly so that other people could join you.
That is correct, because this is a computer located in a public area of the institution here.
All right, my question was, does anybody else ever join you?
I have a computer that I can run other things on it, and I can run this program on my computer, but I'm using a specific computer so that other people in this institution can see it. When two people said they were going to show up today and they never showed up, so I don't know.
So you're holding a sort of a mini, you're holding a mini in-person Zoom meeting of the seniors computer group. And I think that's great that you're doing that for other people.
He's using a public computer, not his that he's setting up.
Yeah. So, yeah, Dan, who does have administrative privileges on the computer? They should be able to upload new stuff.
Okay. I'll be off in a minute.
No, you don't have to leave her because of me.
Well, I think, let's see, it is
Time to go.
to noon and about time to sign off for the week. Will Wakely is scheduled to talk about Facebook next week.
Okay.
Okay.
And
We have a week
he's
to
still
prepare
willing.
questions.
nod your head, Will. Yay. Okay, see you all next week, all.
Okay, thanks, Hank.
Into here. There were
Bye-bye.
17 of us at the moment. There were 19, I think, at the max.
Yeah,
Yay.
I had 19, okay.
well, that's good.